Assalamualaikum, we are from Group 5. Today we would like to present about occupational safety and health. We have 5 members in this group. We start with Amir Safran bin Muhammad Junaidi, Muhammad Haikadenia bin Muhammad Al-Hadi, Muaz bin Sharudin, Muhammad Atif Ajwad bin Jafri, and the last one is Aifadenia bin Rasmandi. This is a content that we will cover in this presentation. The first one is type of safety and health hazards. The second one is impact of hazard. The third one is risk involved. And the last one is administrative and engineering countermeasures. We will start with our first content, which is type of safety and health hazards. Before we talk about type of safety in lab, I would like to introduce about what is a hazard. A hazard is a dangerous phenomenon, substance, human activity or condition. It may cause a loss of life, injury or other health impact, property damage, loss of livelihood and service, social and economic disruptions, or environmental damage. The first one is fire hazard. We will focus on welding. Welding is a fabrication process whereby two or more parts are fused together by means of heat, pressure, or both, forming a joint as the part which is needed to complete our project. Welding fires are caused by spark, hot slag, and torch flames. They also can result from combustible material touching a hot workpiece of heat-emitting flammable vapors. This is an example of fire hazards. The second one is electrical hazard. The construction industry is most in danger from electrical hazard, accounting for 52% of electrical fatality in the U.S. workplace. Most of these incidents and fatalities were caused by direct worker contact with overhead power lines and contact with machine, tools, and hand-carried metallic objects. As you can see, these are a few examples of electrical hazards. The last one is mechanical hazard. We will focus on drilling. Drilling is the process of cutting holes in solid material using a rotating cutting tools. It is included in cutting hazard is contact with a rotating part. This can happen when you are using a drill, press, or lathe. If the chart or bit is not properly secure, your clothing or skin can come into contact with the rotating part and be cut. Next, we will discuss about our second content, which is impact of hazard. First, we will start fire hazard impact. The welding machine is very hot and it can cause burn if people touch it. The spark that has been made during welding can start a fire. The welding machine uses a high voltage electricity, so when we touch the wrong part, it can cause a big shock to us. Also, it can cause a fire if the tools are not in good condition because it uses high voltage. The second one is electrical impact of hazard. For example, when we touch the switch with the wet and its probability to get electrical shock is higher. People who get electrical shock can cause serious injury or can stop the heart. A short circuit or electrical fire can cause damage the electrical system and potential to lead to an electrical fire. The last one is mechanical hazard impact. Example is the user that use machine or tools to drill causes injury because they don't know how to handle the tool or machine. The tools that has been used are not in good condition or broken. It can cause high electricity to the user. Also, potential to get injury because the tools are not in a good condition. So drill bits can cause injury when the tool is operation because it can slip and fall. When the tool or machine are not held firmly, the spinning drill bit can cause wound or injury to the fingers. Let's move with our third content, which is risk involved. We will start with risk of fire hazard on welding. Operation involving welding generates small spark and slag. The small explosion that frequently accompany the spark shower can cause molten metal and slag droplets to be launched great distance from their source. The welding torch is receiving inadequate oxygen and acetylene is pre-igniting inside the burnt tip. Rust of steel that is being burned off has polluted the material being welded. The simultaneous cutting of two different metals is producing a reaction due to the disparity in oxidation rates. The second one is risk of electrical hazard. For example, when a type of injury is connected to correction, provision, transmission, transformation, rectification, conversion, conduction, distribution, control, storage, measurement, or use electrical energy, electrical hazard may result in death or personal injury from electrical shock, electrical burn, electrical explosion, or arcing and fire explosion initiated by electrical energy. As a result, the law scope is not limited of electricians and electrical engineers. It also applies to mechanical engineers, construction workers, industrial workers, and office workers in situations where their job might put them at risk from electricity. The last one is risk mechanical hazard, which is drilling. Examples of mechanical hazard that can hit, grab or trap an operator are movements that might be dangerous, including those involving rotating machine parts, reciprocating movement, which is moving parts back and forth or up and down, and transfer motion, which is moving material in a straight line. Next point of operation. These are the places where a piece of stock is passed through a machine and is cut, shaped, burned, or otherwise formed. Furthermore, pinch points and shear points are places where a body part may become trapped between a moving component and stationary item. Numerous mechanical activity or motion might put the worker in danger. This is our last content in this presentation, which is administrative and engineering control measures. The first, I would like to talk about administrative measures on fire hazard when welding. The first one is training and education. The second one is hard work permits. And the third one is fire safety procedure. And the fourth one is fire watch, which is assigned a trained individual as a fire watch during and after welding activities to monitor for any sign of fire and to ensure prompt response in case of an emergency. The last one is housekeeping, which is maintain good housekeeping practice, keeping their work areas clean and free from a combustible material that could fuel a fire. The next one, I would like to talk about engineering measures on welding fire hazard. The first one is ventilation, which is ensure proper ventilation in the welding area to remove fuel, gas, and combustible material that may contribute to fire hazard. The second one is fire resistant barriers. Install fire resistant barriers or screen to prevent spark, heat, and welding slag from reaching combustible material in the surrounding area. The third one is a fire suppression system. The fourth one is spark arrestor. The fifth one is proper equipment materials maintenance. The second one is administrative measure on mechanical hazard when drilling. The first one is training and education, which is provide comprehensive training to operator on safe drilling practice, including the correct use of tool, proper technique, and awareness of potential hazards. The second one is a standard operating procedure (SOPs), develop and implement SOP specifically for drilling operation, outlining safe work practice, equipment handling, and emergency procedure. The third one is a personal protective equipment, PPE, which is a mandate the use of appropriate PPE such as safety glasses, gloves, and hearing protection to minimize the risk of injuries. The fourth one is work area organization, and the last one is supervision and monitoring. Meanwhile, injury measures. The first one is machine guarding. The second one is workpiece featuring, and the third one is safety device, and the fourth one is chip and debris control, which is use chip card, chip trays, or workpiece enclosure to contain chip and debris generated during drilling, minimizing the risk of flying particle or shaped object causing injuries. Then the last one is tool selection and maintenance, which is choose appropriate drill bits and cutting tool for the material being drilled and ensure that all in good condition. regularly inspect and maintain to prevent breakage or malfunction during operation. This is last administrative of electrical hazard when touching electrical socket with wet hand. The first one is education and training. The second one is awareness and warning sign, which is a display prominent warning sign near electrical outlet, reminding individual not to touch them with a wet hand and highlighting the associated risk. The last one is safe work practice, which is establish and enforce strict policies that prohibit working with electrical outlet wet hand are wet, and emphasize the need to dry hands thoroughly before handling any electrical equipment. On indigenous measures that we can do is a ground fault circuit interrupter (GFCIs). Install GFCIs in electrical socket, particularly in areas where water contact is likely to occur. GFCIs equally interrupt the electrical circuit when a fault is detected, preventing electrical short incidents. The second one is outlet covers, the third one is grounding system, and the fourth one is installation. And the last one is a regular maintenance, which is implement a regular maintenance program to inspect and promptly repair or replace the mesh of multifunction electrical socket or wiring. The last but not least is a conclusion. In conclusion, the implementation of both administrative and engineering control measures is crucial for ensuring safety in various situations. When it comes to hazards like fire during welding processes or mechanical hazard while drilling metal objects, administrative controls such as training, education, permits, and clear procedure are vital. Simultaneously, engineering control like ventilation barriers, separation system, machine guarding, and proper maintenance help mitigate risk. Ignoring these issues of safety measures can lead to severe consequences, including injuries, property damage, and even loss of life. It is paramount that individuals understand and comply with these precautions to safeguard themselves and others from harm. By prioritizing safety, we can create a secure environment and prevent avoiding accidents.